This is News at Prime. Let's take you back to one of our leading stories. Former Free State Premier Ace Magashule's ex-personal assistant, Moroadi Cholota, is expected to make her first court appearance at the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court tomorrow. She arrived in the country on Thursday night after being extradited from the United States. Now, Cholota will face fraud and corruption charges linked to the 255 million rand Free State asbestos scandal. As we look ahead now to tomorrow's court case, let's speak to a Metsimaholo ward councillor, Lebohang Makhefu, who speaks to us on the line. Lebohang, good evening to you and thank you for your time. When the community of Metsimaholo saw the visuals that I think the whole country saw with the arrival of Moroadi at OR Tambo Airport, what was the reaction from the community? What are people saying about her coming back to South Africa and to answer to these alleged crimes?
Thank you very much, Collie, for having me, and good evening to all the viewers of Newzroom. Yes, indeed, Collie, it becomes a relief. It becomes a relief, as you have indicated earlier on. The background on this particular case, it becomes a relief to community members that at least there will be clarity, at least the law will be taking its course. And I believe going forward, the progress will be there and the community will be glad to see progress being made as far as that case is concerned.
Yeah. Talk to us about the removal of asbestos roofs. When this project was started, I think it was back in 2018, how many houses actually had their roofs replaced? So the ones with asbestos exchanged for something much safer. How many of those houses benefited from that scheme?
Well, Collie, unfortunately, you had very few houses. The indication earlier on was that the project is starting, only to find out about 4, in particular, or 12, where I happen to be the ward councillor, only 4 houses. And only 4 houses happened to have removal of those asbestos roofing. Going forward, nothing else happened. I think, like you've indicated earlier on, that's where people began to ask, but how? What is happening? Because there was this beautiful, understandable project of removing asbestos, only to find out that there are serious misconduct or corruption activities that had happened earlier on. But to confirm the number, then it was about 4 houses, in particular, or 12.
And the people that continue to live in the ones with asbestos roofs, what is the condition? How dangerous is it? Is it a health hazard for people to continue living under those? Because this was the motivation for why those roofs should be changed.
That's the understanding of each and every community member that still lives under asbestos roofing, Collie. And yes, I think we all know that indeed asbestos has a certain effect on one's health, and they are still living under those roofs. I myself, as a councillor in that ward, still live under a roofing of asbestos, Collie.
And what is the hazard to your health? How dangerous is it? What are people sick from?
Well, TB, lung infections, to mention but 2 of illnesses related to asbestos. Yes, TB and lung infection. Those are the main illnesses or sick that people will be suffering from when it comes to asbestos.
Yeah. So based on your recollection, you said earlier only 4 houses seemed to have benefited from this scheme, and yet 255 million rand simply disappeared. What would the community want to see happen here now that you have a number of people before court, including the former premier.
Progress. People would love to see progress. People would love to see those who are accused of corruption facing the full might of the law, and ultimately they would love to see asbestos removed on their houses, Colin.
Lebohang Makhefu, let me thank you very much for your time, a ward councillor at the Metsimaholo area that's in the Free State. All they want to see is justice, but more important, or perhaps equally important, is that those roofs still need to be removed because they are a health hazard. And that's why this project was introduced in the first place.